Hello. So we're back on the grind to 2K Elo. Let me switch the format to rapid, and then we can start the game. So it's been close to 6 months since I played a rated rapid game. I think it was mid-February last time I played a rapid that was rated. So I am gonna be a little bit rusty. So right here I'm just taking up center space. It seems like a good idea to do. He's targeting my pawn, so I think I'm gonna push his knight out. If he goes to this square with the knight, I'm gonna bring my bishop right here on this scope. Just seeing if there's anything that you can. This looks fine. Okay, so he defends his knight like that. If I take his knight, it does leave his pawn kind of weakened. But then he has like 3 center pawns there. I might take, actually. I'm not gonna think twice about it. And I'm just gonna castle. So I'm gonna just develop my minor pieces. So I think I need to take here, otherwise my pawn structure is gonna look bad. He has to capture of his pawn too. And that creates weakness for this square, so that probably wasn't good for him. He can't capture a rook because I can just take his rook. He can capture a bishop though. If he captures a bishop, I might be tempted to move my bishop over here. And then he moves his bishop back, and then... Yeah, this looks like I want to play this line. Otherwise, like if I just exchange right here, the rook comes to this square. There's always a rook sack that he can do. So I have to be mindful of that. It doesn't work, the rook sack for the knight, but it would be annoying if he did that. So it feels like I'm winning, only because his bishop hasn't been developed yet. Hmm. So first I'm gonna defend my pawn in case I want to move my knight around, or he's releasing his bishop. That doesn't do much. So now if he moves his bishop out, I can take this pawn, or I can take this pawn too. So this is weak. He has to defend it. He can push this pawn forward. I can move my rook to the e1 square. This rook. Alrighty. So if I move this knight out, it's a little bit dangerous because he can eat this f2 pawn. I can double layer my rooks, which I think I'm gonna do. I don't think he has an attack really. He's just bringing in his queen to more active space. So I just noticed that this pawn's a little bit weak too. So I might be able to target it down the road. So I'm gonna stick to my original plan of double layering the rooks. I don't want to redevelop my queen because I'm not sure what it's doing on this side of the board. I can push the h3 pawn and develop my knight to a better square. But he can always play h5 in response to that. Okay, let's figure out what I'm gonna do here. I can target this pawn still, but it's like a one mover. I don't know if that's the best use of my time. So I'm just gonna play h3. This is like a waiting move, I guess, for now. There's probably a better move, but I don't want to waste too much time. Right now I'm up in time, and I want to maintain that. Goes there. I think I can just go to a3 and target the pawn and the knight. That seems winning. I don't see what he's trying to do. Does it matter a3 versus b4? That's the question. Oh yeah, I think b4 is better. Because a3 he might force a knight exchange. This way I don't have to capture the knight back. So just don't want to blunder anything, man. Because if I went to a3, he has the knight c4 move. He still has the same move, but this way I can take it. Yeah, okay, so which pawn do I want to capture? The c pawn or the d pawn is the question. I think the center pawn's more valuable than this pawn. But this pawn's close to promotion, so I have to be mindful of that. Okay, so now I'm targeting his bishop. I can also force a queen trade. I'm only up by one pawn, so I don't think trading queens is the right idea. So he has to bring his queen, I think, to this square. But if he brings his queen to that square, I can bring my knight out. I'm not sure how he holds onto that bishop. Oh, he can move the rook, I guess. One of these rooks to right here. Which he did. He found a good line for him. Okay, let's figure this out. I can pin his piece there, but I don't think that does anything. What might? Yeah, I'm gonna try to pin his piece. Just try not to blunder too. So now his bishop doesn't have that many squares to go. I can take this pawn if I wanted to. You can always move the rook too. So I'm not sure how he defends the pawn and gets out of this. If I do move my rook, my knight has to stay there because it's protecting the f2 pawn. So right now this pawn's falling. He can't really save it. Okay, he does move his rook. I think that's losing though. 'Cause I feel like I can just move my knight here. Then he brings his rook back. Let's try moving my knight. And he can't block with his rook because his other rook will fall down. He has to block with his queen. But if he blocks with his queen, he loses the bishop. But this is complicated for him. Like I don't know what the best move if I was if I was in his situation to do. I feel like this is a 90% accuracy game. Like, it doesn't feel like I made that many mistakes. Okay, so he does block with the queen. He doesn't lose the piece like I originally thought. So if I take the bishop, this is a central pawn. This is a nice bishop. Like I don't want to take. I mean, this is a nice knight. I don't want to take his bishop. So I can take this pawn. And I don't think he has anything. I'm gonna take the pawn. I don't see what else I can do here. There might be some tactic that I'm missing, but hope I'm not making a mistake. So now his pawns are kind of isolated. There's nothing protecting them. But I don't want to go after all of them because I feel if I go after this one and then the A file, he can just move his rook and take and come in, infiltrate. Okay. I can take this pawn too. Do I want it right now? What if I push my pawn? This is a little bit complicated. I know I see the c6 move, but he can just take it with a bishop. I like my knight where it's at. But a pawn's a pawn. I'm just gonna take the pawn and see if that's not a mistake. I don't see how it's a mistake, but there's always better moves. Okay, so he targets my piece. I need to make faster moves. I'm losing my time advantage here. Um, I'm just gonna move my bishop. I mean, my queen back. He can't take my pawn because I have a rook and I have a knight defending it. I'm also attacking his a pawn. I'm also threatening a check. I'm up 3 points of material, which is just 3 pawns. Do I just win a piece? No, I don't. He's targeting my knight, and it's kind of like stuck there, unfortunately. I guess I'm gonna check him first. He blocks with his freaking queen. A little bit bad. I have to defend my knight here. Wait, I think I just take. Hope I'm not making a mistake. Now I'm down on time too. Like, I don't know how I turned this winning position, and then I used a lot of my time bank. And that's because I'm playing with increment. Like, if I wasn't playing with increment, I would lose this game right away. So if he captures my rook, I can capture his rook with check, and I can win my piece. But I'm targeting his rook, so he blocks like that. I'll just take care. Probably should have stayed with kept the pressure on. I should have stayed at the end game more. I'm just gonna push these pawns. Like, I'm gonna go c4, d5, and see what that does. So if I push the pawn, he can't capture. At least I don't think he can. Maybe he could. Let's go here. 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 I have the pawn advantage, so there's no way that he beats me here. Unless I just blunder something. Not gonna think too much. I have a lot of time. It's a minute to his 13 seconds, or 55 seconds to his 10 seconds. I think he's in like in a Zugzwang position. Yes, that feels good. Alright, let's give this guy a trophy. Let's see, it's right here. Send award, good game, send award. So I'm gonna game review it just to see my accuracy. There's nothing that there's really nothing that I want to review over it. It was a close to a 90% accuracy. That's crazy. I only made one mistake, which is great. Um, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Peace out.